This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Whether your business has 6 floors or 6 employees, Walmart Business has everything you need to save time, money, and hassle. You can restock your break room with bulk ordering or bulk up your ordering team with shared payments. And you can get it all delivered straight to your business's door, whether that's on Wall Street or Main Street. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time, 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
Katie, 5 Iron February continues. Last week, we were joined by Leonore, a.k.a. Jeff the Girl of the band 5 Iron Frenzy. And she gave us a warning. I said, is there anything you want to give Katie a heads up on? And she said, what was it? Not cohesive. It was the first album she felt like didn't have the cohesion of the previous albums.
I understand why she says that, but I do really love this album.
So I decided to do something a little bit different than I've done in the past, which is that I dug up the original CD.
Nice.
So I could show you a little bit. So it's an all like 70s basketball theme throughout the whole album. So like the back even has that. The disc is a basketball.
Oh, sick. Okay.
There's the back piece is one of them slam dunking on another one.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And it's throughout the booklet. There are just photos of them doing this like very 70s basketball theming in costumes with like a bunch of different people. There is Leonore as a cheerleader.
Oh my God, she's so cute. Look at that.
Yeah, good stuff. There's a bunch of them with their shirts off and word letters painted on their chest.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But one of the things that I wanted to mention to you is that there's one track you haven't heard on this album.
Yeah.
And it is track 0, What's Up? What's up? Which is quite literally when you put the CD in the CD player, you had to press a button to fast forward past track 1, and you would be greeted by a 10-second track that was just the band playing like a very quick riff and then all yelling "What's up?" and then it would kick into the opening track.
Was there a reason why? Is it just like a fun...
I think that was just a thing that people started realizing they could do, was putting hidden tracks in the front of the CD instead of the back.
Fascinating. That's amazing. Yeah, because I know that like when I was looking up the lyrics, there was another like song listed, and I was like, I don't see this on here in Matt's.
So all the hype that money can buy. It's 5 Iron's most musically diverse album, blending elements of salsa, calypso, reggae, and ska. Certain tracks also contain impressions of rockabilly, metal, and arena rock. It also had a bunch of guests on the album, including returning member Scott Kerr, who wrote a couple songs, Carlo Perezzo from Santana, and the Christian singers Randy Stonehill and Justin McRoberts, as well as 2 members of the band The W's, Brett Baker and Valentine Hellman.
Yeah.
The album contains typical 5 Iron Frenzy fare of both serious and humorous content. Even the album's title is self-deprecating humor, intended to foil the audience's expectations. In the title track, the band reveals it's so wrong and so far from true because the secret is I'm just like you. So this album does have some very heavy topics and also some very, very silly topics. I really like the opening track here, though. The opening track is The Greatest Story Ever Told. Which is basically just a proclamation of, their Christianity, a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a boppy little song. I just am into the happiness of the song.
With the old white version of the use of the term gay, as in happy.
Yes.
And I was like, ooh, it's one of those words that like you hear it and you're like, oh, wait, looking up the lyrics. Interesting that they used it this way. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and then we get into something else where it makes even more sense why they're I'm ready for us to talk about that one in a bit.
Yes.
But
yes.
This is a fun little one. But I don't think that this is. There's not a lot to dissect on this one. Like sometimes we like to get really deep into the lyrics and the weeds, and I don't think that this one really calls for it too much.
It's a nice opening song. You know, it's very much. I was like, oh yeah, I get so happy when we do 5 Hour in February because I'm just like, oh, I don't have to like muscle through this.
It is followed by one of the shorter songs on the album, Me Oh My.
Me oh my.
Which was written by Leonore. This is
nice.
One of Leonore's songs, and it is inspired. It even says in the album, inspired by Isaiah 56 verse 1, which I forgot to look up. But
let me look
if you
want
to jump in on that real quick.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Okay, Isaiah, maintain justice and do what is right, for my salvation is close at hand and my righteousness will soon be revealed. Oh, nice. Okay. The salvation of others, that is okay. Which, I mean, if nothing else, I know she said that this was not a cohesive thing. I do think that the justice cohesion is within this album and all of their music as just kind of a big theme.
It's really in there. This one, the chorus is very simple. There's something happening in the sky. Me oh my. I recall that I'm yours now and I'm feeling fine. Me oh my, you're mine.
I also love the speed on this song.
Oh, this song flies. This song is very fun, very fast. Now, the thing that I think is worth noting is, as Leonore told us, up until this point, Scott Kerr was their main songwriter. He would write all the music, and then Reese would write the lyrics.
Right.
In this particular booklet, it tells you who wrote the music for certain songs.
Oh.
So not only did Leonore write the lyrics, she actually co-wrote the music on this. And she had said, if you remember in our interview, that she was always looking for them to do more of that fast punk rock type stuff. So that absolutely
translates.
checks out.
Yeah, it totally translates. And also, I feel like sometimes she's a little bit too humble about her talents. So I'm just putting that out there. I think she's a better lyricist and player than she keeps saying that she is.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about Solidarity. Which was the first. This was the first song I heard off this album. It was like on a bunch of promotional material, and at the time there wasn't a guest vocalist. It was the original demo where Reese sings the whole song. Okay. I personally think that I like it better when it's just Reese the whole time. Okay. No offense to Randy Stonehill. This is the track with the guy from Santana. The guy from Santana is playing all the percussion in the background of this song.
Oh, fascinating. Okay,
to give it that calypso feel. And then Brad, their trumpet player, is the one who is listed in the album booklet as doing the Rasta voice. So he's the one that's doing the, like, unite to the verb.
the like call and response, the response sections. I think this is a really great March song.
Yes.
It's
a really fun one. This is not... Like, when I heard this song, I said, ooh, I'm ready for this album. And now I would probably put it as one of my least favorite songs on the album.
Okay.
Over time, I mean, it's not my number one least song. My least favorite 5 Iron song ever is on this album, actually. and I'll talk about it when we get there. But this album has, I would say, at least 3 or 4 songs that would rank in my top 10 Five Iron songs.
It's a good one
of all time.
Yeah.
It's an uneven album, and I think all of them have said that, but I think that some of the highs are higher than they give it credit for.
I agree. I hardcore agree. But then we start to go off balance with this next one because I need context on this next one.
This one I think is just them being silly. This one still gets played all the time. And it just says Phantom Mullet is a satirical look at the mullet hairstyle of the 80s. So they're just describing a dude who's rocking a mullet.
Okay, because
and I do love their version of that is he's driving a Camaro, he's blasted REO Speedwagon. Like that to me is the dude with. I mean, I just think of MacGruber. You know what I mean? Like MacGruber always has his mullet. He's this is one that they still play live though because the crowd screams along with that all night long part. It is the call and response on this one where it's like, yo. Cutting it short on top. I want that for me. Okay. This one's a really, really fun live one. I'm curious if you remember anything that we had heard in previous interviews in relation to track 5, though, Ugly Day.
I was like, wait, Christy, who's Christy? I feel like I know this and I don't remember. I was like, it's fun, but okay, wait, did Andy talk about this?
Andy talked about this.
Okay.
They wanted him to not sing the name of the actual person that it was about.
Oh, shit.
So
okay.
I believe the story, and again, listen, I know that some of the members of Five Iron listen, and they will tell me if I'm totally wrong on this, but I believe the story is that this is a song about Reese's engagement being called off. So there is an alternative version of this song because, you know, you've heard Leonore explain, like, people write different parts and Reese assigns different people to write different songs.
Sure.
So at some point we will cover it, probably not as a Five Iron February because I don't consider it a legitimate album by them. But when they were breaking up, they put out an album called The Cheeses of Nazareth, which was like 50 random B-sides and short, silly songs and everything.
Okay.
But one of those was the original, I believe the original version of this, when Dennis, who wrote the music, wrote the lyrics. It was a song about rhubarb pie. So it was like rhubarb pie in the summer, rhubarb pie made by my mother. Nothing. I am team rhubarb pie. I think rhubarb pie is an absolute delight of a song. But this premiered. A lot of people, myself included, heard this song for the first time a year earlier on their live album. This was one of 3 songs from their upcoming album that they had recorded for their live album, Proof That the Youth Are Revolting. And this was one of those songs that made it into the set list early enough. If we're speed running through these first 5 tracks,
we're slowing
it's because we have
down.
a lot to say about these next 2 tracks. I do have some information for the song Fahrenheit.
I feel like I get it, but go ahead.
So, Roper tackles issues within the Christian culture and the church and takes on homophobia and hypocrisy in the song Fahrenheit. The song refers to Freddie Mercury, the frontman of Queen, who eventually died of AIDS, and the superhero Flash Gordon, a reference to the fact that the score for the 1980s Flash Gordon movie was composed and performed by Queen. However, in a 2000 interview, Roper explained that everyone will readily admit that homosexuality is a sin, but not that homophobia is just as bad in God's eyes. However, later in a 2014 blog post, Rupert reclaimed his statements and expressed displeasure with many of the song's lyrics, writing that over the years his attitude on homosexuality had softened even more, and he doesn't even consider it a sin anymore. He admitted that he was ashamed of the song Fahrenheit's lyrics, and he wrote, "At the time I felt like I was doing an honorable thing, calling out the church to the carpet of being homophobic, and I thought that I could do so by pointing the finger at myself with my own homophobia towards one of my own heroes, Freddie Mercury. What bothers me is how arrogant and condemning I still was about the actual act of homosexuality at the time."
That's interesting because I wrote the note, then I sent it to Matt, but I just wrote "holy shit," and then I wrote in all caps "holy shit," and then I said it's lovely to see Christians calling themselves out for their own bullshit behavior, and I didn't realize that the context was like, I still think this is a sin. But that's
because
also...
it's that one lyric where he says, was it the stench of grease paint on our faces, press the mask to our next of kin instead of the wiser idioms like love the sinner, hate the sin. Like, I think he said actively, I really think that including that one lyric kind of ruins everything that song was saying.
Yeah. Understandably now, within the context of all of that, rewrite that lyric, because this is an incredible song, because this is where I was like, oh, okay, I really truly love this band, because I love when artists call out the hypocrisy of themselves, and like what we do in like looking at all of these and like seeing the context of all these lyrics. I love seeing how people grow just intellectually through their art, and having this be a Christian band that is also calling out their own bullshit behavior as they're still committing their bullshit behavior. That's unreal. That's incredible. And like what they were at the time of this album, they were like now 18, almost 20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
23 was what Leonore was. She was the youngest, right. So they were probably about 25, 26.
Okay.
Which I would say that 20s are still a pretty strong time for homophobia to run rampant in a man.
And especially when you grew up in
Christian man.
No, and like, you know, I was not a great person back in the day. I had a lot of confusing feelings and stuff, and like when you're deep in it, it's hard to understand without being in the context of people who are just human beings living their lives.
I think the big thing that I applaud specifically in that one is like, it's a pretty shocking lyric even in 2026 when he says like, I said he was a queer. I said he had it coming. He died of AIDS that year.
Yeah.
Like,
rough to begin with. Like that, I was like, oh.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's one of those things. That's one of those things that you think about in the middle of the night and think, I will never tell anybody about this memory that I have.
Exactly. Exactly. And like, that's the beauty of like, of an artist putting that horrible side of yourself out on the table and looking at it in almost a scientific way and just being like, this was not great. I am not proud of this, but this was a part of me and who I was back in the day. And that I applaud them for that piece, at least.
And I love the subtle joke here of this song is called Fahrenheit and the next song is called 451.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I was wondering because like when I first saw the song title, I was like, oh, I wonder if they're doing like a Fahrenheit 451 type of thing. But then I saw the next song and I was like, okay, this makes more sense. But Mr. Fahrenheit, okay, all right, I'm tracking.
So the song Fahrenheit, or the song 451, is a song about the isolationism within the Christian culture and lukewarm Christianity. He attacks the commercial interests within Christianity, such as the Christian music industry, of which he told Seven Ball magazine, for the most part, it is meant to make Christians feel good and not at getting anybody saved. Speaking directly to the interests, Roper states, the radio is preaching candy-coated goo, the record companies, and the TV too. No one rocks the boat, terrified of trouble, can't tamper with the walls of this sterile Christian bubble. It was never your point to get anyone saved. You pad yourself with fluff just because you're afraid. I'm not afraid to point the finger now. The choir's so used to your preaching anyhow. What a fucking mic drop lyric that song ends with.
I mean, it ends with, but it's like I just put, oh my god, I love this because we're going nowhere and it's happening fast. Dim future and the darker past. That alone, I was just like, ooh, give me more. Ooh, I love that.
How prescient is this, though, that somewhere
so
away
prescient.
from here, a past mistake we often learn at Fahrenheit 451, you close the doors and let it burn.
You close the doors.
We're there now.
We are there now. Like I was going bananas at this song. I was just like, oh shit, they're going there. And I was like, and it's so freaking topical. And then Pharisees in the church, time to take a vacation, and then emancipation. Oh, Jesus Christ. Pharisees think the world comes to them for salvation. Booyah.
Yeah.
Can't tamper with the walls of their sterile Christian bubble. I can't, like, this song blew me away.
This is one of the, when I say that there's like 3 songs that I think are absolute masterpieces on this record, this is one of them.
Yes.
This is a very high moment for them.
51, you close your doors and let it burn. Somewhere away from here, the best mistakes they often learn. At Fahrenheit 451, you close your doors and let it burn. Yeah.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Are you a fan of young adult novels?
Have you ever wondered the stories behind the people who wrote your favorite young adult novels?
Then join author Eric J. Brown
And Alyssa Lube of Netflix's The Circle.
every other Tuesday on YAOK.
Available on all podcasting apps.
Woo!
Now, we've gotten 2 really serious songs. We get real silly on this next one. And this one they still play live. You probably shouldn't move here. Tons of guests on here. So Scott is back doing some guest vocals. Val and Brett from the W's show up on this singing, as well as, I have to laugh at this, guest accordion from Big Lou the Accordion Princess, who I guess was like a local Colorado celebrity that they invited to play the accordion for the yodeling part.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I didn't realize that. That's awesome.
But this is
wild.
This is the best silly song on this album for me. This just works in all the ways that like silly 5-iron works. Just even the joke of the chorus being, because they're talking about Colorado, some people think our state is square, they're wrong, just wait and see. Because it is literally one of the most square-shaped state, but it's like double play
Double
of like
entendre,
square
yeah.
being lame. Like
Right.
it's so
And
it's
one
so
of the
fun.
first states to legalize weed. It's fascinating.
It's really, really funny, and it also just like,
That's what
if you all could use a little sway, and here's Val from the W's, and then you just hear him say hi in the background.
So great. I also love that they totally shit on California in the beginning. Like, it's just, it's so great.
Yeah, they have a blast with this, and I do love like their depiction. It's very much like their version of Randy Newman's "I Love L.A.," where it's just depicting their
Colorado.
state. It's a love song to their state while depicting their state in like the worst possible frame.
Yep.
It is an absolute blast, and unfortunately, it is the lead into my absolute least favorite song 5-iron has ever done with the song Hurricanes.
I was like, this is not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
This is, it's so funny. The first time I met Leonore in person, when I went to see Five Iron, we were having a conversation, and she I don't even know if she remembers this, but she said, "What's your least favorite Five Iron song?" You're allowed to say Hurricanes.
Oh no! Oh, Leonore. Oh gosh, she's too humble. Like I need her to stand up for herself a little more.
Well, for this one, I don't think she did not write the lyrics.
Okay. Well, girl,
she did.
Yourself.
This is Reese's lyrics, and the music is from Scott and Dennis. So this has nothing to do with any of them. I did have this note though. It said, in Hurricanes, Reese Roper laments, "I am a failure, defeat every time," before bringing the focus back to the hope of Christ. In an interview with HM Magazine, Roper said that it is probably the most depressing song you will ever hear from Five Iron Frenzy.
They're not wrong. They're not wrong. I translated at the beginning, and I'm still waiting for a miracle. I'm still waiting for you. And I'm like, oh, whew, that's a hard-hitting opening lyric said in Spanish, which I love.
It's a really weird, rough song. But if we're talking about some of my all-time favorites,
I just know that this next one is on your Halloween playlist, isn't it?
I love this song.
It's a great song.
Yes, it is.
I knew it. I knew it.
It is on my Halloween playlist.
Yep.
So, about the song Giants. Roper refers to Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations to continue his attacks on big business and social Darwinism. This is also one that features some lyrics from Leonore. So there were 3 people who wrote this: Reese, Leonore, and Jeff.
Okay.
Or, sorry, Jeff is Leonore. And Dennis, who wrote the music. This song, which is literally like, at the time I was like, man, this song's weird. And then as I became an adult and I really looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, this is literally about like Starbucks taking out your local coffee shop. Like,
yes. I wrote down the lyric: advances in efficiency, increasing productivity, are narrowing the margin for liberty. And I was like, that is also a very topical lyric right now.
Yeah, this one actually, this is probably the top song that I want to just go through the entire song lyrically. Because I think this is some of the best lyrics they ever wrote. So, when no one looks, the clouds come rolling in, and under darkened skies, the buildings grow big teeth and eyes. They breathe and walk through unending doors, eating restaurants and barber shops and hardware stores, with catchphrases and jingles stealing, steel and concrete lies. The corridors of Babylon are craning for the skies.
Which is fascinating because, like, this is still in the brick and mortar phase of capitalism, and, like, now we're, like, in this weird sort of amorphous, do we buy online? No, because they're supporting terrible people. But then also, like, there's no brick and mortars anymore. But I love, with catchphrases and jingles, stealing, steel, and concrete lies. Like, oh, what up? No.
Yeah,
good lyric.
That's just some top tier lyrics right there.
Yeah.
The chorus: who's behind the curtain anyway? Who pulls the levers and tells the lies? Giants roam the land today, gaining dominance with every stride.
Oh, yes. Preach it.
So then we get to the second verse. Oh, don't you cry for the moms and the pops. Nothing but dry eyes for integrity's demise.
Yeah.
Hulking machines grind as whistle blows. Corporate Darwinism crushes everything below. And then you said the one: advances in efficiency, increasing productivity, are narrowing the margin for liberty. Such like corporate speak that I don't think was as public knowledge in like 1998 as it is now. Like, everybody knows the, like, oh, the margins, and like, I think that's why this song kind of went confusing to me at 13 listening to it.
Well, 100%.
And not getting what they were saying.
No, and like, and also, like, I think it takes a couple of times of working in corporate culture to realize just how horrible it affects yourself, the lives of others, mom and pop shops. Like, I can't but like go back to advances in inefficiency, which is a really interesting line. Advances in efficiency, which is like dual meaning. Inefficiency, increasing productivity, are narrowing the margin of liberty. Just so funny because Ruby and Hattie have been talking about how she was hired for a job and they were hiring her for a like remote job, part-time in the office, part-time just at home, and now they're all forcing them to come back to the office, and I'm like, oh.
That's happening with
Everyone.
my one friend. My one friend had a 50-50, and now it's 4 days in the office, 1 day at home. And it's like...
It's so interesting because the scientific studies have said that people who work from home are way more productive than when they are in the office.
I also just like, not for nothing, even if I want to walk away from all of the like corporate issues, just talking from a corporate stance, isn't it more cost effective to not have to pay rent for a building? Like,
yeah, but it's the real estate deals. It's like I feel like it's mostly sort of the corporate deals behind doors, like with CEOs and people. It's like, well, you're not really using the offices anymore. I guess you don't. Maybe we just like up your rent or whatever.
Gotcha.
I think it has a lot to do with people making deals on a very high level. And
do you want to hear a very funny story about my last place of employment?
Yes, I do.
So we had 2 floors in this office building, and the top floor was where all of like the support people worked and like the like my gigs, right?
Yeah.
But the second floor, the floor below us, was where all the dev team was. And the dev team like was doing all the innovation and building future products for us. So COVID hits. They basically say, hey, you're going home. At the time it was, you're going home for a couple days. We'll figure it out.
Right.
And then that eventually became, hey, it's a full-time work from home support job. So
oh no,
someone from a totally different city who made decisions said, well, the support people don't work in the building anymore, so we should sell that part of the building and keep the dev. And only after the sale was finalized,
oh no,
did someone mention, hey, that all of the stuff that makes the website run is on the second floor, like all of the hard drives, all of the...
your mainframe, essentially, your mainframe.
The entire mainframe was stored in a closet area on the first floor. So what they ultimately had to do, and this was all after I left, but they basically had to work out a deal with the person who had purchased the property.
Oh my God.
To rent the closet space where that hard drive was for like 2 years, while they had to meticulously work out a plan on how to dismantle it, take it down a floor, and rebuild it without shutting down the entire website for hours.
Oh my God.
So, corporations are dumb.
It's a lot of people, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and operations is not a fun job.
Hilariously, I thought you said cucks in the kitchen, and that still works.
That still applies. 5 Iron Frenzy, please rate Cucks in the Kitchen, the corporate story.
We get this cool part where it's just a bass and some cymbals and a little girl speaking.
Oh my
God,
haunting.
This house was built by the ghost of Adam Smith, the wealth of nations, and the further death of innocence. To rule the world and desire of every man, the earth is shaking because there are giants in the land. And then we get this. It says here that it's Ashley Whitkins. Okay. I believe that she was just like a niece of someone that they said, hey, come up to this microphone and just read, which is perfect. Because I think if you had like a professional voice actress, it wouldn't be as eerie as like a girl phonetically reading the information that you gave her. Like, it's so good. And then it comes to the breakdown, and then it's the gang vocal at the end of, see the blood red sun is rising over broken carnage from the darkest day. Giants locked together arm in arm, pulling all the meek out of the way.
It's just, it's funny because it's such a beautiful image of unity, but it's a corporate unity.
It's a corporate unity, like
picking over the carnage of the field that they've already destroyed. And oh my God, really great imagery. Really great imagery.
This is the best song on this album.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
I think you will, not that they ever do anything like this again. This is a singular experiment within their band.
Dang it.
But I think that Giants hints a lot of what their future albums sound like. Where it is,
sweet.
you know how Leonore said, like, we became more of a rock band with horns? Like, this is a prime example of, like, they start really playing around with, like, what does it sound like if we do a heavy metal song that just has horns in it? Like, what does it sound like if we do just like a straight rock and roll song that has horns? Like, they dive in the next album that we'll do next year. It's very dark in this tone.
Ooh, okay.
Throughout it. Okay. There's still the silly songs in there and stuff, but it's much darker.
Interesting.
Almost like a sequel to When I Go Out, this song is followed by I Still Like Larry.
I just put LOL. Okay.
Yeah. Larry married Mary. Now he's gone so far away. I might as go as far to say that I still like Larry. I still like Larry. I still like Larry anyway. All right.
Do we know, is there any, is this just another silly song?
Got nothing here. I believe it is just a silly song.
Silly song with Larry.
So that does make sense.
Yeah.
This next song, All the Hype. What a song that I loved as a kid. Now I think it's possibly the cringiest song on this entire album of Reese awkwardly rapping about things.
But I love what they're going for here because, all the hype that money can buy. They're already setting you up for, like, listen, we understand how we sound like doing this. Sometimes that can be very empty, and I kind of love the wink at, like, I guess their popularity in a weird way in this. It might just be coming off as very, like, sarcastic enthusiasm, or like sarcastic in, like, I don't know. You know when somebody really commits really hard to being serious about something and it makes it all the funnier just because the context of it? Like, that's what this song feels like to me, is that, like, it just feels like so sassy and sarcastic in being,
it does. I will say the chorus to this song slaps. The packaging is right. We're building it to sell. Call all the people in Hollywood and Nashville.
I know.
It's 1 in a million. In fact, we broke the die. It's all of the hype that your money can buy.
Yeah.
Like, I do agree that the chorus does sell the song and the joke. There is, so I think right after this, and this is a whole other thing, so we can do this outside of 5 Iron February as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
I think it was Dennis, Andy, Reese, and maybe Micah. I think it was Micah. Did a side project called Brave Saint Saturn. And it was a trilogy of albums about a group of astronauts that are lost in space. And it's very conceptual. But there is a rap song in that as well called The Shadow of Death. And I think that I liked what that one was doing more. And I think it was because it was so monotone. Like, he was rapping in this monotone voice, and I think it's achieving all of the things that all the hype is doing.
Okay.
But I think the joke hits a little bit harder because he sounds so uninterested in his raps in the presentation. That album, there is a song in that album called Under Bridges that I just know will fucking rattle you, because the concept of that song is, that famous Jesus quote of, like, the way you treat the lesser of you is how you treat me.
Yeah.
and the song is written from the perspective of him walking under a bridge and seeing all these homeless people and imagining every single one of them is Jesus and the way that society treats them. And there's just a line where it says, Jesus Christ on a bed dying with AIDS will stare straight through you. It's like that album and that song in particular have some of the best lyrics I think Reese has ever written. Like that I feel like they were really like, let's explore how weird and dark and we should do one of those. Yeah, we should do one of those albums sooner rather than later.
Okay.
But after this goofy song, we're still a little goofy. We got a cover. Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual.
I put Laugh My Ass Off. I wondered, and I'm so glad that it is exactly what I expected.
This also debuted on their live album. They did this cover live during the tour. I almost wonder if it wasn't ever intended to be on the album, and then people responded to it on the live album, and we're like, all right, we'll do a studio version of it too. Like, why not? But it's fine. It is a very loyal cover of Tom Jones.
Incredibly loyal, and like it's well done. Like it's a ska version of it, and I think it works really well.
But let's get into another heavy one here.
This is another one. I didn't send it to you because I was like, oh, he's probably sleeping at this point. But I did another holy shit on this one.
So here's, I cannot remember the exact details. In the live album,
Genius.
They I was going to say, in the live album, they introduced this song.
Okay.
Because they did this on the live album as well.
Okay.
And they talk about how their practice space is 2 blocks from Columbine.
Jeez.
And that one of their bandmates was his sister was one of the girls in the library. So this isn't like, I think that there was this point in time where a lot of bands were writing in response to Columbine, and some of it feels cheesy and some of it doesn't. This one feels so raw and so honest because it's coming from people who are living in that situation. It's not, it's not like, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day of like performative moments. You know what I mean? Like I was listening to an episode of Reply All, and they were talking about when there was that movement where people were just Venmoing black people money as a form of reparations.
But I love respiration.
And it's like,
but yes.
And it's like, yeah, that's so performative.
Right.
Like that's,
right.
Like you're doing
a
thing, but you're doing it on a public app. You're doing it with like this empty.
You're doing it to
gesture.
Be seen. Yeah. What I find interesting is sort of like how, at least in current stuff, Gavin Newsom versus Mamdani. Mamdani, day one, is out there shoveling snow and doing all this stuff, and Newsom is just doing all these photo ops. And everybody's saying that Mamdani is like doing it for photos and stuff, but like really what they're doing is like they're judging his like how he's like shoveling poorly with like bad back structure or something. It's so stupid. But it's like he's actually getting things done, and then we've got Newsom over here who's like sucking on the tea to billionaires. But
I was gonna say, I feel like there is this vibe that I've seen where anybody who wasn't from California just thinks that Gavin Newsom is like the shit because of his internet trolling.
And it's not him. It's a freaking Hispanic woman that is doing all of that.
But it's like everybody who I know who lives in California, if you're like, do you think Gavin Newsom should be the next president of the United States? It's like, absolutely not.
No.
Like,
no. As we tried to say so many times, we will not go back, guys. Like, we have to call out the bullshit. And we have to call out the corporate Democrats.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, but all of that to say, like, this is, I think, one of the least performative songs I've ever heard about this.
This gives me chills, this one, yeah.
I like that it doesn't have an answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, hey, this really fucked up thing happened. And it happened to someone that we're related to, and it was a national thing.
Tragedy.
And like, what can we do to not stop this? And like,
and the first lyrics are like, Amy's going back to school today. Oh, like knowing the context of the song and like, oh, she's going back to school after this whole Columbine shooting. Whoa. Elation, jubilation streams from her face. Did the hall still smell of gunpowder still? Whoa. Holy shit. And like the way it is performed is still in their it's a very hopeful song, that's for sure. But it doesn't shy away from the really dark moments. Like, do the hallways still smell like gunpowder? Like, oh, what an like, I feel like I smell that, you know?
Yeah.
After all that we've gone through. Yeah.
I want to listen to what he says in the live album to introduce the song.
Okay.
This is going to be a new song. It's called A New Hope, and it's also about freedom. But this freedom, we live in Denver, Colorado, and you guys know what all went down at Columbine. Well, we practiced at Micah's house, which is like 3 or 4 blocks from there. And his sister went to school there. She was like one of the kids locked in the choir room. And when we're at home, everyone's talking about it. But the thing is that they try and blame that on video games, and try and blame it on bad parenting, and try and blame it on TV violence and stuff. I think all those things are bad, but I think the real problem is that mankind is dark, and that without God, people do things like that.
Fuck.
But it's like, talk about, again, even if they, like, yeah, mankind by nature is just fucking dark.
Yeah.
And like, I like that this song isn't
stuck in the darkness. I mean, the end of
isn't stuck in the darkness, and it's also not saying, like, if only someone had preached to these kids. You know what I mean? Like, that's not
if only
the
they had
sentiment of the song. Like, I love the bridge where he keeps repeating, peace fills us, by hope we steer, our dark hearts salvage, we live without fear.
Yeah.
Of a new hope.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Oof,
chills. Chills again.
But then the other song that I've always loved on this album is the closer, World Without an End.
Yeah. Amen.
Which this one was written by Micah and Sonny, who may or may not be on that next week's episode. We'll find out. But I just want to break down all the lyrics on this one because I think Reese really crushed it on some of these.
Yeah.
For all the deepest thoughts compiled, philosophy to laws of physics, no one's ever heard or seen a more beautiful thing than this love that saved us. And it's this chorus, man.
Yeah.
This chorus is so good and catchy. In the soundless all in wonder, words fall short to hope again. How beautiful, how vast your love is, the new forever, a world without an end. This is probably the most religious song on this entire... It's kind of bookended by the 2 most religious songs.
True.
You have, like, The Greatest Story Ever Told and Me Oh My on one end, and then you have this kind of closing it out.
Yeah. But the range that they go with, like, the vocals, holy cow.
When the choir is singing that chorus over and over and over again.
Chills again.
Yeah. And then the second verse, the very spark that burns the stars drew near to me today. The God of everything that is whispered in my ear that his love is boundless. So again, this is like a really religious one. I think that had Every New Day not been so clearly the song that every show needed to end with, this would have become their band's forever closer, because that chorus, as it goes on and on and on, and like when it ends and there's no more music and it's just their gang of vocals singing it over and over again, it, like, I get choked up. And it's one of those things, we talked about that with Every New Day. Even as someone who's, like, not sure where they stand in all things religious, this band is able to write, even when they write worship music, it it's worship music that actually like
has a purpose and is
hits. It makes you feel things the way worship music is supposed to and so rarely does.
Right. And it also takes into account the context of the moment. And that's why I feel like my message to Leonore, and I will message her because we are now Facebook friends. I don't think this is as inconsistent as she was making out. I feel like this was released in 2001. This was like during a very weird, tumultuous time of just society in general before we hit 9/11. And like, I mean, we were dealing with Columbine. We were dealing with like a very unstable world, and then like things really hit the fan.
It's a reflection of the instability that we were, because the good times were gone, right? You know what I mean? Like,
the 90s were gone.
The 90s were, you know, you had, by all accounts at the time, you had what felt like a very hip and cool president. Mm-hmm. The economy was doing great.
A lot of whitewashing. Yep.
We're whitewashing a lot of stuff here. But like from suburban America's perspective, it wasn't getting any better than it was in the 90s.
True.
Music was interesting and cool. Movies were like hip and indie for the first time in like decades.
Because there was investment in independent filmmakers. Just putting that
like
out there.
It felt like everything was honky-dory. I've talked about it before, that there was such an interesting study to be looked at music videos shot before and after September 11th. Mm-hmm. Because you look at like I even use Blink-182 as the example.
Sure.
Blink-182 at that time, pre 9/11, puts out music videos for like the song Rock Show, which is, you know, this bright, it's like camcorders and they're walking around and they're handing out money. And then the next video they do is Stay Together for the Kids, which is a black and white video of them standing in a wrecked home. And like they're, you know, like all of the music videos for about a year were like black and white or blue toned, like very somber,
very grief driven.
Very grief. Everyone was just grieving the idea of this doesn't happen here. This doesn't happen here. This doesn't happen to us.
Right.
Us Americans.
But that's
now I feel
when
like
the
I say
whitewashing
that,
started to become peeled back.
Yeah.
So I do find it interesting that we went back to very basic colors of black and white within music videos, and then also like bluer tones where it's just like there is a big color spectrum on our feelings and things, but like going back to the black and white is almost like a reset of like, hey, we've definitely painted over some things that we haven't looked at, and this doesn't happen here. It does happen here, just not necessarily to us, and that's something that you have to look at.
I know. And this is like the perfect album to be. Again, even look at right now, you see I've shown you the album. I'm holding this album up.
Yep.
Google image search the next album that they did. Look up what the cover for Five Iron Frenzy 2 Electric Boogaloo. And you'll even see that Five Iron Frenzy was not immune to the dramatic color palette shift.
Oh, shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Black and white. All of them in a line.
Black and white. It's them just standing in a line. I think there's like a wrecked car behind them or something. Like it is.
Oh, I can't see.
It is a dark out. I think. Or there's a wrecked car inside the album booklet.
Okay.
But,
yeah, it looks like they're just like standing in front of a hill with like a little light over the edge.
And like I said, there are some angry songs on that record.
Can't wait. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a good one. But Katie, I guess we're 4 albums in. Where would you rank all the hype amongst the 4 albums so far?
This is every album keeps becoming my top, and like this is definitely
really okay.
Yeah, no, legitimately. Like I'm like I will go to war for this album. Like there is some really incredible songs on this album and some really interesting, thought-provoking lyrics, along with the, you know, they still have their silliness, and I love that they contain that within all of their albums. They continue to have that silliness, that sort of like, what was this about? Like I love that dichotomy because that feels very ska to me.
Yes.
You know. This one's ranking up the top at the moment, and I know. But like I'm just so giddy about all of it.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
Andy, take note. You've got a fan of this album.
I do. I am.
I know you're listening out there. Well, we'll be back. I don't know what we're doing for the last week of 5 Iron February, but stay tuned.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.